Our next trip is to see the natural bridge and natural beach in Neil's Island in Andaman and Nicobar. The Andaman and Nicobar Islands, nestled in the Bay of Bengal, constitute a pristine beauty and rich biodiversity. Comprising over 500 islands, this Indian territory is renowned for its stunning landscapes, vibrant marine life, and unique cultural tapestry. Geography and diversity. The archipelago is divided into two groups: the Andaman Islands to the north and the Nicobar Islands to the south. Port Blair, the capital, is located in the Andamans. The Andamans Islands boast diverse topography ranging from lush rainforest to mangrove-lined coasts, creating a haven for nature enthusiasts. Untouched beach, one of the prime attractions is the untouched white sandy beaches. The Radhanagar beach on Havelock Island is often cited as one of the best beaches in Asia. The beaches not only offer a tranquil escape but also provide opportunities for water activities like snorkeling and scuba diving. Marine life and coral reefs. The Andaman and Nicobar Islands are a paradise for marine life enthusiasts. The crystal clear waters house vibrant coral reefs teeming with a kaleidoscope of fish and other aquatic creatures. Snorkeling and diving enthusiasts can explore the underwater world at popular sites like North Bay and Mahatma Gandhi Marine National Park. Historical significance. These islands carry a historical legacy, most notably as a British colonial penal colony. The cellular jail in Port Blair stands as a stark reminder of the struggles faced by freedom fighters during India's fight for independence. The light and sound show at the cellular jail provides a poignant portrayal of the island's history. Indigenous tribes. The islands are also home to some indigenous tribes such as the Jarwas and the Sentinels. These communities have largely maintained their traditional lifestyles, living in harmony with nature. Visiting certain tribal areas is restricted to protect their unique cultures. Flora and fauna. The Andaman and the Nicobar Islands host a remarkable diversity of flora and fauna, including endemic species. The lush rainforests are home to various bird species, and the islands are recognized as an important bird and diversity area. Travel tips. For travelers planning a visit is essential to respect the delicate ecosystem. Responsible tourism practices such as avoiding littering and maintaining ecological balance can contribute to preserving the island's natural beauty. In conclusion, the Andaman and Nicobar Islands offer a mesmerizing blend of natural beauty, historical significance, and cultural richness. Whether you seek relaxation on pristine beaches, adventure in vibrant coral reefs, or a glimpse into India's historical struggle for independence, these islands provide an unforgettable experience. Neil Island is a gem in the Andaman and Nicobar archipelago. Nestled in the Bay of Bengal, the Andaman and Nicobar Islands are a captivating blend of azure waters, lush greenery, and pristine beaches among these jewels of the Indian Ocean. Neil Island stands out as a serene paradise renowned for its natural beauty, especially its mesmerizing natural beach and bridge. Neil Island, nature's canvas. Overview. Neil Island, also known as Shahid Deep, is a tiny island located south of the Andaman archipelago. Despite its modest size, Neil Island is a haven for those seeking tranquility and unspoiled natural wonders. Natural beach. One of these islands' prime attraction is its unblemished natural beach. A stretch of white sand bordered by crystal clear turquoise waters. Visitors are greeted by the soothing symphony of waves and a gentle breeze, making it an ideal spot for relaxation and introspection. As you stroll along the shoreline, you will witness the harmonious coexistence of coconut palms and tropical flora, creating a picturesque landscape that defines the essence of Neil Island. Natural bridge. The piece of persistence of Neil Island is undoubtedly the natural bridge, a geologically marvel sculpted by the relentless forces of nature. This natural arch stands as a testament to the intricate dance between the sea and the land over the countless years. Erosion and weathering have curved out this stunning bridge, making it a unique and iconic landmark. As the waves gracefully caress the rocks beneath the bridge, visitors are treated to a spectacle that seamlessly blends the raw power of nature with its delicate artistry. Beyond the surface, biodiversity and marine life. Neil Island is not just a treat for the eyes but also a haven for nature enthusiasts. The surrounding waters are rich in marine life, offering snorkelers and divers as a glimpse into the vibrant underwater world. Coral reefs teem with colorful fish, creating an underwater spectacle that mirrors the island's terrestrial beauty. Sustainable tourism preserving paradise. Recognizing the fragility of its ecosystem, Neil Island has embraced sustainable tourism practices. The local community activities actively participate in preserving the island's natural splendor, promoting responsible tourism and conservation efforts. Visitors are encouraged to respect the delicate balance of the environment, ensuring that future generation can continue to marvel at the untouched beauty of the Neil Island. How to reach Neil Island? To reach Neil Island, travelers typically take a ferry from Port Blair, the capital of Andaman and Nicobar Islands. The journey offers breathtaking views of the archipelago, creating anticipation for the paradise that awaits. In conclusion, Neil Island stands as a testament to the untouched beauty that can be found in remote corners of the world. With its natural beach, awe-inspiring natural bridge, and commitment to sustainability, this small island in the Andaman and Nicobar archipelago beckons those who speak solace in nature's embrace. The Andaman Islands are an archipelago in the northeastern Indian Ocean, about 130 kilometers southwest of the coast of Myanmar's Aviarwadi region. Together with the Nicobar Islands to the south, the Andaman serve as a maritime boundary between the Bay of Bengal to the west and the Andaman Sea to the east. Most of the islands are part of the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, a union territory of India, while the Coco Islands and the Preparis Islands are part of the Yangon region of Myanmar. Location: Bay of Bengal, coordinates 12 degree 30 degree north, 92 degree 45 degree east. Archipelago: Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Total islands 572. Major island: North Andaman Island, Little Andaman, Middle Andaman Island, South Andaman Island. Area 6,408 square kilometers. Highest elevation is 732 meters. Highest point is Saddle Peak. It is a union territory, Andaman, Nicobar and Islands. Capital city is Port Blair. Administrative Yangon region. Etymology of Andamans. In the 13th century, the name of the Andaman appears in late Middle Chinese, pronounced as Yanduaman in modern Mandarin, in the book Shu Fan Shi by Shao Rugai. In chapter 38 of the book Countries in the Sea, Shao Ruga specifies that going from Lambri, Sumatra to Ceylon, an unfavorable wind makes ships drift towards Andaman Islands. In the 15th century, Andaman was recorded as an Andaman mountain. pronounced Andaman Shan in modern Mandarin Chinese, during the voyages of Sheng Hu in the Maokin map of the Wu Belshi. Early inhabitants. The earliest archaeological evidence yet documented goes back some 2,200 years. However, indications from genetic, cultural, and isolation studies suggest that the islands may have been inhabited as early as Middle Paleolithic, around 60,000 years ago. The indigenous Andamanese peoples appear to have lived in the islands in substantial isolation from that time until the late 18th century. Chola Empire, Rajendra Chola took over the took over the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. He used the Andaman and Nicobar Islands as a strategic naval base to launch an expedition against the Srivijaya Empire. The Cholas called the island Nakavaram, Great Open Naked Land, found in the Tanjavur inscription in 1050 century era. European traveler Marco Polo, 12th century to 13th century, also referred to this island as Nicobar, and a corrupted form of the Tamil name Nakkavaran would have led to the modern name of Nicobar during the British colonial period. British colonial era. In 1789, the Bengal Presidency established a naval base and the penal colony on Chatham Island in the southwest bay of Great Andaman. The settlement is now known as Port Blair, after the Bombay Marine Lieutenant Archibald Blair, who founded it. After 2 years, the colony was moved to the northeast part of the Great Indian and was named Port Cornwallis after Admiral William Cornwallis. However, there was much disease and death in the penal colony, and the government ceased operating it in May 1796. In 1824, Port Cornwallis was the rendezvous of the fleet carrying the army to the First Burmese War. In the 1830s and 1840s, shipwrecked crews who landed on the Andamans were often attacked and killed by the natives, and the islands had a reputation for cannibalization. The loss of the Runnymede in Britain in 1844 during the same storm while transporting goods and passengers between India and Australia, and the continuous attacks launched by the natives, which the survivors photo, alarmed the British government. In 1855, the government proposed another settlement on the island, including a convict establishment, but the Indian Rebellion of 1857 caused a delay in its construction. However, because the rebellion led to the British holding a large number of prisoners, it made the new Andaman settlement and prison urgently necessary. Construction began in November 1857 at Port Blair using inmates' labor, avoiding the vicinity of a salt swamp that seemed to have been the source of many of the earlier problems at Port Cornwallis. The Battle of Aberdeen was fought on 17th May 1859 between the Great Andamanese tribe and the British. Today, a memorial stands in Andaman Water Sports Complex as a tribute to the people who died in the battle, fearful of British intention, and with help from an escaped convict from cellular jail. The Great Andamanese attacked the British settlement, but they were outnumbered and soon suffered heavy casualties. Later, it was identified that an escaped convict named Dutna Tawari had changed sides and informed the British about the tribe's plans. In 1867, the merchantman Nineveh was wrecked on the reef of North Sentinel Island. The 86 survivors reached the beach in the ship's boats. On the third day, they were attacked with iron-tipped spears by naked islanders. One person from the ship escaped in a boat and the others were later rescued by a British Royal Navy ship. For some time, sickness and mortality were high, but swamp reclamation was and extensive forest clearance continued. The Andaman colony became notorious with its murder of the Viceroy Richard Southwell, who came 6th year of May on a visit to the settlement in 8th February 1872 by a Pathan from Afghanistan, Sher Ali Afridi. In the same year, the two island groups, Andaman and Nicobar, were donated under a chief commissioner residing at Port Blair. From the time of its development in 1858 under the direction of James Madison Walker and in response to the mutiny or the rebellion of previous year, the settlement was first and foremost a repository for political prisoners. The cellular jail at Port Blair, when completed in 1910, included 698 cells designed for solitary confinement. Each cell measured 4.5 by 2.7 meter, with a single ventilation window 3 meters above the floor. The Indians imprisoned were here referred to the island and its prison as Kalapani, Blackwater. A 1996 film set on the island took that term as its title, Kalapani. The number of prisoners who died in this camp is estimated to be in the thousands. Many more died of harsh treatment of the strenuous living and working condition in this camp. The Viper Chain Gang jail on Viper Island was reserved for extraordinary troublesome prisoners and was also the site of hangings. In the 20th century, it became a convenient place to house prominent members of the India's independent movements. Japanese occupation. The Andaman and Nicobar Island were occupied by Japan during World War II. The island were normally put under the authority of the R.C. Hukumat-e Azad Hind, provisional government of Free India, headed by the Subhash Chandra Bose, who visited the islands during the war and renamed them as Shahid, Martyr and Swaraj, self-rule on 30th December 1943. During the Japanese occupation, Bose, who was allied with the Japanese, first raised the flag of Indian independence. General Loganathan of the Indian National Army was governor of the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, which had been annexed to the provisional government. According to Werner Gruhl, before leaving the islands, the Japanese rounded up and executed 750 innocents. Post-World War II. At the close of World War II, the British government announced its intention to shut down the penal settlement. The government proposed to employ former inmates in an initiative to develop the island's fisheries, timber, and agricultural resources. In exchange, inmates would be granted return passage to the Indian mainland or the right to settle on the islands. J.H. Williams, one of the Bombay-Burma Company's senior official, was dispatched to perform a timber survey of the islands using convict labor. He recorded his findings in the Spotted Deer, published in 1957 by Rupert Hart Davis. The penal colony was eventually closed down 15th August 1947 when India gained independence. It has never served as a museum to the independence movement. Most of the Andaman Islands became part of the Republic of India in 1950 and was declared as a union territory of the nation in 1956, while the Preparis Island and the Coco Islands became part of the Yangon region of Myanmar in 1948. Late 20th century, 21st century, outside visits. In April 1998, American photographer Jonas Culligan organized the first surfing project in the Andaman, starting from Phuket in Thailand with the assistance of Southeast Asia liveaboards. a UK-owned dive cutter company with a crew of international professional surfers. They crossed the Andaman Sea on the yacht Crescent and cleared formalities in Port Blair. The group proceeded to Little Andaman Islands where they spent 10 days surfing several spots for the first time, including Jarawa Point here near Hut Bay and the long right reef point at the southwest tip of the island, named Kumari Point. The resulting article in Surfer magazine, Coast of Fire, by journalist Sam George put the Andaman Island on the surfing map of the first time. Footage of the waves of the Andaman Islands also appeared in the film Thicker Than Water, shot by documentary filmmaker Jack Johnson. Callaghan went on to make several more surfing projects in the Andamans, including a trip to the Nicobar Islands in 1919. In November 2018, John Allen Chow, an American missionary, traveled illegally with the help of local fishermen went to the North Sentinel Island of the Andaman Islands Shying Group on several occasions. Despite a travel ban to the island, he is reported to have been killed despite some relaxation introduced earlier in 2018 to the stringent visit permit system for the island. North Sentinel Island was still highly protected from outside contact. Special permission to allow researchers and anthropologists to visit could be sought. Chow had no special clearance and knew that this visit was illegal. Although a less restrictive system of approval to visit some of the islands now applies, with the non-Indian nationals no longer required to obtain pre-approval with a restricted area permit. Foreign visitors must still show their passport at the immigration at Port Blair Airport and Seaport for verification. Citizens of Afghanistan, China and Pakistan or other foreign nationals whose origin is any of these countries are still required to obtain a RAP to visit Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Similarly, citizens of Myanmar who visit Maya Bandar or Diglipur must also apply for RAP. In these cases, the permits must be pre-approved prior to arrival in Port Blair. Natural disaster on 26 December 2004, the coast of the Andaman Islands was devastated by a 10-meter high tsunami following the 2004 Indian Ocean earthquake, which is the longest recorded earthquake, lasting for 15 to 600 seconds. Strong oral traditions in the area warned of the importance of moving inland after a quake and is credited with saving many lives. In the aftermath, more than 2,000 people were confirmed dead and more than 4,000 children were orphaned or had lost one parent. At least 40,000 residents were rendered homeless and were moved to relief camps. On 11 August 2009, a magnitude 7 earthquake struck near the Andaman Islands, causing a tsunami warning to go into effect. On 30 March 2010, a magnitude 6.9 earthquake struck near the Andaman Islands. The Andaman Archipelago is an oceanic continuation of the Burmese Arakan-Yoma range in the north and of the Indonesian archipelago in the south. It has 325 islands which cover an area of 6,408 square kilometers, with the Andaman Sea to the east between the islands and the coast of Burma. North Andaman Island is 285 kilometers south of Burma, although a few smaller Burmese islands are closer, including the 3 Coco Islands. The 10-degree channel separates the Andaman and Nicobar Islands to the south. The highest point is located in North Andaman Island, Saddle Peak, at 732 meters. The geology of the Andaman Island consists essentially of the late Jurassic to early Eocene ophiolites and sedimentary rocks, are deformed by numerous deep faults and thrusts from the ultramafic igneous intrusions. There are at least 11 mud volcanoes on the islands. There are two volcanic islands, Narcondam Island and Barren Island, which have produced basalt and andesite. Barren Island is the only active volcano in the Indian subcontinent, with the latest eruption reported in December 2022, leading to the potential of geotourism. Climate is typical in tropical islands of similar latitude. It is always warm, but with sea breezes. Rainfall is irregular, usually dry during the northeast monsoons and very wet during the southwest monsoons. The Middle Andaman harbor mostly moist deciduous forest. North Andaman is characterized by the wet evergreen type with plenty of woody climbers. The natural vegetation of the Andaman is tropical forest with mangroves on the coast. The rainforests are similar in composition to those of the west coast of Burma. Most of the forests are evergreen, but there are areas of deciduous forest on North Andaman, Middle Andaman, Battang, and parts of South Andaman Island. The South Andaman forests have a profuse growth of epiphytic vegetation, mostly fern and orchids. The Andaman forests are largely unspoiled despite logging and demands of the fast-growing population driven by immigration from the Indian mainland. There are protected areas on Little Andaman, Narcondam, North Andaman and South Andaman, but these are mainly aimed at preserving the coast and the marine wildlife rather than the rainforest. Threats to wildlife come from introduced species including rats, dogs, cats, and the elephants of Interview Island and North Andaman. Scientists took a new species of green algae species in Andaman archipelago, naming it Acetabularia jalakanyagi. Jalakanyagi is a Sanskrit word that means mermaid. Timber. Andaman forests contain 200 or more timber producing species of trees, out of which about 30 varieties are considered to be commercial. Most major commercial timber species are Gurjan and Padak. The following ornamental woods are noted for their pronounced grain formation: marble wood, Padak, silver grey, Shui, cocoa. Padak wood is sturdier than teak and is widely used for furniture making. There are burwood and buttress root formations in Andaman Padak. The largest piece of buttress known as Andaman was a dining table of 13 feet. The largest piece of burwood was again a dining table for 8. Fauna. The Andaman Islands are home to a number of animals, many of them endemic. Andaman and Nicobar Islands are home for 10% of all Indian fauna species. The islands by ratio is only 0.25%. Countries, geographical area has 11,009 species according to the publication in Zoological Survey of India. Mammals. The islands' endemic animals include Andaman spiny shrew, Andaman shrew, Junican shrew, Andaman horseshoe bat, Andaman rat. The banded pig, also known as the Andaman wild boar, and once thought to be an endemic subspecies, is protected by the Wildlife Protection Act 1972. The spotted deer, the Indian muntjac, the sambar were all introduced to the Andaman Island, though the sambar did not survive. Interview Island, the largest wildlife sanctuary in the territory in Middle Andaman, holds a population